Hello and welcome to the final virtual event for A-Level Biology at the Grove. I'm going to be showing the PowerPoint behind me, but you might not be able to see quite a bit of the details. So I've actually put it on a Firefly page, and I recommended that page to all of Year 11 and the parents of Year 11. So please feel free to go and view it, and you'll find out a lot more about the course through reading through the PowerPoint. Dr. Ingham is supporting me virtually with the chat, so if you think of a question during the presentation, please do write it in the chat function and she'll be able to answer it for you. So, it has never been more obvious now than during a global pandemic how important a grounding in the biological sciences is. Whether you wish to go on and study biology at a higher education level and enter one of the many emerging fields, or just to understand the latest news briefing from Downing Street. A spillover event where a virus jumps into a human population is not new, and these things will continue to occur and increase in frequency if we mismanage our resources and destroy the wild places at the same rate as we are doing. Plastic pollution and climate change crises are fast approaching a tipping point, and we are looking for ways to reduce public spending on healthcare. We want to be able to provide personalised medicine that is effective in terms of efficacy, but also in terms of being cost effective. We want to be able to find new antibiotics, combat those that have become resistant to existing ones, and as you're well aware, develop vaccines at an alarming pace to keep up with the demand. And A-Level in biology could mean that you could find yourself in one of these fields. So, biology at the Grove. We follow the AQA exam board for A-Level. There's lots of application and real-world context on it, and a lot of it is specific to this country, such as the MMR vaccine, HPV vaccines, drug trialing. So there's a lot more that you will see on the course that you'll be able to link with things that you're hearing about in the news. So who is the biology department at A-Level at the Grove? It's myself, Mrs. Richardson, there's Dr. Ingham, Mr. Garbutt, and we are supported by Mrs. Dixon, our extremely valuable lab technician. So let's just find out about biology. So these are some new areas that are emerging in biology. We have synthetic biology. We're actually getting to the point where we can design life forms, starting with their genome, and design them nucleotide by nucleotide. I mean, we are only at the bacteria level at the moment, but who's to tell what the future holds in that area. Immunology is really interesting. We've got the study of how allergies occur and how we can deal with allergies, autoimmune conditions, and the fact that if we look at the example of COVID, two people can have COVID but have completely different symptoms and expression of that disease. Why is that? It's due to the differences in our immune systems. Epigenetics is an exciting area. This is how environmental factors can affect the way that we actually use our genes. And those environmental factors, which can come from diet, exercise, smoking, whether you're well cared for or not, can then be passed down to subsequent generations, these little epigenetic markers which control how we use our genes. Environmental science, there's going to be lots of jobs in that going forward, ecosystem management, antibiotics, bioinformatics. So we are actually producing a lot of data, especially with the sequencing of genomes. The technology has moved forward so quickly that we can sequence a lot of DNA at once, but then we need to be able to make that data manageable to deal with. So we need people who are mathematicians to model that for us. As I said, personalised medicine and genetic engineering using the CRISPR-Cas9 technique is quite an exciting area where we can actually cut out genes and insert new ones, and then in a fertilised egg, and then sort of edit the genome of a new organism. So what does A-Level biology look like? So the first year, you'll have 2 teachers, 12 lessons over 2 weeks. Tends to be a 6-6 split with each teacher. Learn 2 topics in parallel. One will be cells and microscopy and cell transport and cell division, and the other one will be biological molecules with a good grounding in biochemistry. And then after January, we move on to organisms exchanging substance with their environment, animal transport, gas exchange, and on the other side we look at genetic information, genetic diversity and natural selection. The way that we track progress is we have regular preps which are fed back either through Firefly or written, and we also have end of topic tests which we record that data centrally, and we have feedback sessions when we give those tests back. There are also intervention groups when we get into year 13, and we can provide tailored support within the lesson as well. In year 13 we move on to energy transfers in and between organisms, so energy transfers in ecosystems, nutrient cycles, respiration, photosynthesis. Then we'll move on to how organisms respond to stimuli. We look at homeostasis in the nervous system and muscles, and then control of gene expression, which, as I say, that's quite an exciting new area. Quite a lot of the content from gene expression has come down from undergraduate level down onto the A level over the past few years. So we offer the A level rather than the A level and the AS. So the A level is examined through 3 exams at the end of year 13, so it's a linear course. Paper 1 will be all of the year 1 content. Paper 2 will be all of the year 2 content. There is a distribution of AO1 marks, AO2 marks and AO3 marks. And then paper 3 is holistic, so it could cover content from across the 2 years, and it focuses on investigation skills, data interpretation skills, evaluation skills, and then also an essay, which is mostly recall with a little bit of application, but that essay will be pulling content from the 2 years together. And we do regular training on the essay starting in the year 13. It is worth mentioning that 10% of all marks on biology papers are maths related. It is about a grade 8 standard from GCSE, so it's not A-level maths, it's higher level, like at the top of the GCSE maths, but within an A-level biology context. So you need to be comfortable with maths to be happy to be able to make good progress in biology. 15% of all the marks are also for investigation skills, so planning investigations, identifying variables, thinking about accuracy, reliability, errors, control experiments. Can you evaluate a conclusion and use data to justify that? So the 15% of marks are those, and they're kind of skills that are common across the 3 sciences. So there's more information on the breakdown of what's in the course. We also do not have coursework, but it is vitally important that we prepare students for a science degree, that they have the necessary skills to be able to do that. So there's various apparatus and techniques that they will be trained to do and use over the 2 years, and they will be assessed over 12 practicals, 6 in the first year, 6 in the second year, against a common practical assessment criteria, which is the same across all the sciences and actually all of the exam boards. So the first one is, can they follow a method? Can they plan an investigation? Can they write a risk assessment and work safely? Can they use apparatus to gather data? Can they record it using conventions? And then 5 is, can they process that data? Can they present it? Can they draw conclusions? Can they find secondary sources that are relevant in order to inform their planning, or perhaps allow them to explain their conclusions? And can they cite that source using the conventions? So that's the practical endorsement. We give them lots of opportunities to be able to hit those criteria, not just one, and then we would sign them off to say, yes, they're skilled in their practical endorsement. And you can't actually attain the A level without the practical endorsement, so it's very important. And we use lab books to record all the evidence of their practicals throughout the 2 years. I'm just conscious of time, so I best speed things up. The subjects that it works really well with are chemistry, physics, maths, psychology, geography, PE and geology. There's a lot of crossover there. To be honest, chemistry is the most important. Chemistry knowledge will help you understand biology. Chemistry is a tool in which to do biology. So we would recommend you picking chemistry if you can. To be honest though, if you wanted to do art or history and English and you just fancied biology because it was interesting, then it's a facilitating subject. So it's regarded highly by universities because it has a broad skill set, literacy, numeracy, critical thinking, and you have to actually learn, retain and recall a lot of detail. So that proves that you're actually very good at learning if you have an A-level in biology. So there are the reasons why you should choose biology. We actually did do a pupil voice of our A-level students, and I've shared some of the results on this PowerPoint, but I don't have time to share that with you right now, but please feel free to go and have a look at that. Are there any questions that anyone has? Let's have a look. Anything for Dr. Ingham to address? No? Says there's no new questions. If you think of something afterwards, I always do, then please do send us a message on Teams. Parents, you can email us. Students, you could grab us in the corridor or perhaps speak to us if we teach you, or come and find us. We're in the Davy building quite often anyway. So please do field any questions to us and we'll be happy to help. What GCSE grade do you need? Thank you, whoever has asked that question. So in order to be accepted onto the A-level, you need to get a 5 at school. However, if you want to get a good grade and make progress, we would recommend a 6 or 7, really 7, but possibly with a 6, but you'd have to accept that those top grades might not be open to you at A-level. If you're getting a 5 at GCSE, you would struggle to actually be able to get a grade at A-level. It would be an uphill struggle, even with all the support. We do have students, but they're aware of, they have realistic ideas about what grade they're going to be getting. Any more questions? Okay, well, thank you very much for listening. And as I say, please do get in touch if you want any further advice. And hopefully we'll see some of you in the biology department in September. Okay, well, take care. Bye-bye.